Hi, good afternoon. My name is Katie Bustamante, and I am a middle school special education teacher supporting students with reading and writing in a small group ELA classroom setting. The purpose of today's video is to provide personal reflection and opportunities for growth when discussing and reviewing the professional dispositions for educators. So, to begin, as an educator, I feel it's very important to maintain at all times, whether you're in the community or in the school setting and working with colleagues, students, or parents, a level of professional conduct that is reflective of the high values I personally feel are needed as educators to improve student outcomes. The professional dispositions for learners, as stated in the Grand Canyon University as well as other online sources, include 10. And these 10 include expectations, diversity, fairness, conduct, reflection, curiosity, honesty, compassion, advocacy, and reflection. So, when looking at these dispositions, there are three that stand out as coming more naturally to myself as a special education teacher. They are more naturally to my personality, as well as more natural to the classroom setting in which I work with students. So, to begin, first, high expectations. Having a high level of realistic expectations for student learning and growth is really essential in encouraging students to enhance their strengths and improve their weaknesses. You really want to give students a more positive outlook on their education. You want to provide support where needed, and you want to give them areas where they can succeed. A lot of times, as a special education teacher, students come in and really lack the confidence and the self esteem that they need to be able to know that they are worth learning and that they are capable of it, but they're worth it. And so, we really have to work with students on setting those high expectations, of really valuing that all students are capable of learning, especially with appropriate levels of support. This is an area that I think is very highly undervalued in the field of special education, but is so important and crucial as we work with students, and especially as we want to increase confidence, motivation, and support student growth. Secondly, compassion. Compassion is an area that probably all special education teachers should possess. We work with students from varying backgrounds, some students from very hard places. It's important that we offer compassion for what they're going through, not just what they're struggling with academically, but what they're struggling with socially or emotionally. We really have to give that to students, and students can tell pretty quickly and instantly if you are being sincere and genuine in the compassion and in your interactions with them. In order to show compassion, one thing that you can do to keep it professional, but also to give that, is to, one, give feedback and encouragement, but really learn to get to know the student outside of just the classroom setting. You know, what is the student's family like? Do they have siblings? Do they have brothers? Maybe you learn their brother or sister's names. Maybe you ask them who they ate lunch with or rode the bus with. It really will give you a lot of feedback that you're going to need to really help students grow. And so give them compassion, and let them kind of go through what they're going through and provide encouragement along the way. So, again, another area that is so needed as a special education teacher. Thirdly, advocacy. So for me, this goes beyond just the day-to-day or the hour-to-hour that I have to work with students. This includes really reaching out and providing appropriate advocacy that supports that child to the best of their ability. So again, compassion, expectations really lead into this role of advocacy as we learn about the student. We learn about things that they might be interested in. We learn about their hobbies. We learn about their family. We can really, really gear our advocacy to support that child in a positive way. Again, modeling advocacy, we can really encourage our students to learn to advocate for themselves, as well as teach parents how to advocate for their students. Advocacy, again, is important as being a special education teacher, as many of us have caseloads that we maintain, and we have to work with students that we may not even teach in the classroom setting. So we have to learn our students. We have to learn about them. We have to get to know them. And we have to stay professional, though, when doing all of that. So for me, these three dispositions encompass the theory and the goal that I set personally for myself of educating the whole child. This includes academically, socially, and emotionally. However, as a teacher, not all of these dispositions come very naturally to me, or I think are naturally applied in the setting in which I teach. The first one would be curiosity. Curiosity is something that is a little bit harder in a special education classroom. It's a little harder for me as an educator when I don't have students that are eager and excited and diving into being creative or collaborating. I have to work a little harder to be more mindful to give them those appropriate challenges with the support and guidance. A lot of our students really struggle in collaboration. Group work for them can be very, very difficult. And so curiosity is an area where I think I can continue to grow and encourage students, but also to continue to be mindful of what activities I'm encouraging for students. Am I providing appropriate levels of engagement? Am I encouraging them to grow in these areas? So a lot of our students were just working on basic skills. Am I going beyond that? That is the whole goal for special education. I want to build their core and their support and their base for reading and writing, but I also want to encourage deeper thinking and analysis of the content that they're reading. So finally, to wrap this up, a professional educator is conscious at all times of their actions and behaviors, really ensuring that your decisions focus on a mindful practice that creates a positive learning environment for students with the intention of providing students with engaging opportunities. You want to support them, again, academically, but social, emotionally as well. And we want to see growth in all areas. As well as, so as a teacher, if I'm struggling or even just for mindful practice, a great tool, a great guide, a great resource to refer back to over and over is those professional dispositions. Really getting to learn them, to know them, to point out the ones where I have to work a little bit harder, to so that I can create a more mindful practice of all 10 teaching dispositions, hopefully at all times. So from when I walk into that classroom until the end of the day. And again, as we know, our role extends beyond the school and in the community too. So we have to continue to be mindful with the intent and the primary focus of our students at all times. And we want to make sure and be careful not to divert to any actions which could have any negative consequences. So again, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to having some feedback and hope you have a great day. Thanks.